Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, or today, whenever you see this, I would like to do something a little bit different. I've been thinking about adding another tarot reading to my monthly set. Instead of just doing the first 4 at the first of the month, tying one in a little bit later. And I've decided, since I've added the I Ching hexagrams into the first of the month readings, maybe the middle of the month we could do an elemental all-together video for romance and relationships. We'll do a set for singles and a set for those in relationships. Just something a little bit different, and we'll try it for a quarter, see what the feedback is. If you like it, we'll keep doing it. If not, we'll kick it out. So this quarter is the third quarter, so it'll be July, August, and September we'll do this. And the way I want to do this type of reading is I was gifted a new set of tarot cards. It's the Sacred Mysteries Chakra Oracle deck, linked in the description. And so we will pull a card for each elemental energy to see what frequency that energy is in. In other words, where's the chakra alignment with the element. And then we'll pull a few cards from this month. I'm using the Fairy Tarot just to kind of see what the messages are. And we'll do, I think the way I want to do this is we'll pull the card for the element, then we'll look at singles, and then we'll look at couples within that element and move on to the next. I'll do them in the same order as I do my main videos, which is fire, earth, air, and water. So with that being said, long-winded introduction here, we'll get started with the chakra aligned energy for the elemental energy of fire, and that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Like I said, these are just something a little bit different. I'm kind of experimenting with this deck. It's very new to me. So the first card we have for fire, and I'm still double checking some of this with the book just so that I make sure I have the right chakra alignment, is the Crown Chakra, and it's the number 43 piece card. There we go. So this is the fire elemental energy for this romantic period in July is sitting at the very crown. So this is a spiritual relationship. The energy is aligned with the moon, and we'll read the little introduction here. Chandra, the Hindu god of the moon, who has a halo of the crescent moon, rides a reindeer, a symbol of unconditional love. It is decorated with bells to ring in blissful sounds of peace and liberation. Linked with higher consciousness, he wears pearl anklets, illustrating the moon's link to the gemstone of a pearl, the sign of the depth of the sea of wisdom. So the fire energy for this romance period in July is really a spiritual connection, and it's tying that sacred feminine with the sacred masculine. So you're really feeling more dominant with the lunar energy, which is the sacred feminine, but it's being brought by the sacred masculine. So you've got this balance of masculine and feminine energies, but we're really looking for fire at the spiritual side of romance. It's going to be a little bit less physical, which is unique for fire because they tend to be a very passionate sign or energy, but we're really talking about the spiritual side. So their passion is going to be for the spirit, the soul of the person that they're with, or if you're alone, it's the soul of your soul, where you're at in life. So we'll start with the singles within the fire sign. And we have the Dreamer. So it looks like there might be something new coming in, but be careful because the Dreamer also in the original tarot is the Fool. So something's starting, but you may not see all the steps in the pathway. We have the King of Autumn, compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and gifted. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything is going your way and a good person or company to work for. So you could be tying this relationship that's coming up with the dreamer in through a work connection. It may not be a coworker, but it might be a friend of a coworker or something along those lines. And you also have the King of Summer, honorable, devoted, mature, and warm-hearted. Romantic partner you can trust, excellent advice that comes from the heart, getting involved in cultural or creative endeavors. So you've got something new starting. You're on the right path. Something is waking up and starting for you. But then you've got two different kings. You have the King of Summer and the King of Autumn. So you've got a little bit of grounding, but you also have that deeper devotion that's coming in, which for you single fire energies, that ties into that spiritual aspect of your relationships and what you're looking for at the moment. So and they're also saying that this person is going to be a little bit more of the the more dominant aspect of the relationship, where you can be a little bit more passive. So that's not a bad thing, because it takes a little bit of the burden off of you. But they're saying that this could be coming in from some kind of connection to where you're working at the moment, but it's also about being able to connect in a creative and spiritual way. So this is not going to be strictly a physical type relationship, but it's going to be tied into a little bit more of the emotional state and the spiritual state. So it might be a conversation over, a church function if you're doing the church thing, or it could be a coven group. But they're also, my guides are saying that it's going to tie into something connected to your work, whether it's a coworker or a coworker's friend. Something along those lines is kind of the energy that's coming forward. So let's look at the energy for our coupled fire energies, and see what the relationships are going on there. There's a little bit of that dynamic, and I'm just letting the deck tell me how many cards it wants to give me. So like I said, I read intuitively, so this information is coming from guides more so. And right off the bat, we have the Two of Summer, falling in love, making a serious commitment to someone, forgiveness, and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. So for you fire energies that are in a relationship, this is a time of fixing something, bringing a they're showing me a spat. It's not even like a fight. It's more of just like a frustrated, seriously, why did she do that? But it's bringing that energy to the close. It's reconnecting, maybe starting a date night once a week, drop the kids off with grandma and grandpa or whatever, so that you can reconnect with your partner on a deeper level. Again, the energy chakra that you're working with is the crown, so this is really focusing on that spiritual soul-to-soul connection. We have the Eight of Autumn, do more research before proceeding, education in the form of seminars, going back to school or apprenticeships, excellent craftsmanship, and long-term projects. So you also have this creative part where something, and this could be where that little bit of a dispute has come from, the spat, is you fire want to go back and continue your education, and your partner may not be quite on the same page, but the Two of Summer is saying that the Eight of Autumn situation is resolving into what works best for the relationship. So just something to think about as you're going forward. Any of the little spats that might be going on right now, they're minor. Figure them out, they'll work through it. But it's also about reconnecting on a spiritual level with your partner. Then these two cards fell out together, and it is the High Priestess. So this is a major arcana life lesson card. Trust your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. And that's tied to the Ace of Winter. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately, amazing new ideas that should be implemented. So what these two cards are saying, if we can get them to sit up here, is it's meditation. Do your research. Don't jump into anything. Don't give up on your plans, but maybe look at them from a more inventive, more unique, more creative aspect, because these two cards are saying the connection to your spouse is number one, or to your partner, and the dispute is being resolved, whether it's going back to school, whether it is continuing an education, going to a conference, something like that. That's going to be resolved. That's a minor spat. But the overall goal is reconnect with your higher self, reconnect with your aspect of the divine and spirit, because by you connecting upwards, you're connecting to your spouse as well, and they can work in that same energy vein to expand their own connection. So let's reshuffle and cut our deck here and move on to Earth. This is a little bit different of a reading for me, so bear with me as I'm trying to work on my small desk. And we'll shuffle and redo the chakra, and we are focusing now on, take a deep breath, earth signs, and let it out as this card falls out of my deck. And it is the flow card, and I believe this works with the root energy. Let's see. Nope, this works with the sacral chakra. So it is number 9, flow, if that image shows up there. And it says you're working with the element of water for earth. After breathing air, water is the element most essential to life. It is widely used to symbolize emotions, intuition, and the depths of being. Deeply connected with the waves of emotion, it is often bound to the importance of family and love, the birthing of life, tenderheartedness, and communication. Teardrops of sadness or joy, the subconscious. On the less pleasant side, the negative side, it can relate to jealousy, envy, depression, moodiness, being too sensitive or overindulgent, and self-destructive behaviors. So the energy coming forward for Earth and the chakra that they're either working in or working on is the sacral, which is approximately 2 finger widths below your belly button, and that is really a more physical but also an emotional response. The energy that sits with your sacral chakra, it tends to be the energy of continuing the species. So there's a very unique sexual aspect to this as well. But what they're saying with this card is it's not just about that. That's that overindulgent part of it. There's an emotional balance that comes through when you tap into it in a healthy way. And as Earth, you tend to want to stick with the root. So this is an elevation of your base energy towards something a little bit higher frequency. And when I say base, that doesn't mean bad. It's just Earth tends to ground itself and not want to go exploring too much. But this is really saying it's time to explore through your emotions a little bit more and build that energy into a higher state. And going with the flow, instead of being overly rigid, being a little bit more mobile with those emotions. And we're starting off with the singles. So we have number 7, the Chariot, major arcana, life lessons, big things happening, success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments and being in the spotlight. So Earth, time to step up. It's time to get things moving. You may have an opportunity to be a little bit more out and about than normal. It could be something as simple as being invited to a singles group that you never thought you'd ever go to. Take the opportunity in this coming month and really pay attention to the emotions of the people around you. That energy flow. Don't just put yourself in a bubble and, oh, I'm over here and this is the one person I know, so I'm going to talk to them. Mix it up a little bit. Go exploring. And that's tapping into that chakra energy as well, so where you're expanding your awareness, you're expanding your horizons. We have the Queen of Autumn as well, generous, stylish, gracious, and practical. Be practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. That's where you expand out of your comfort zone. You step out of the everyday single Earth and step into connecting to other people. And in doing so, you also have a balance of masculine energy with the Chariot, and you have the Queen, so you have some feminine energy coming forward as well. And the third card that popped out is the 7 of Autumn. So we're still working with pretty heavy Earth energy here. And it's have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps. A prudent investment of time or money. So even though you're kind of being pushed out of your comfort zone, you're exploring, you're stepping outside, you're doing a little bit of exploring, it's still saying don't give up on your grounding, your stability. You're experiencing things outside of the normal for you because you need that expansion. It's something that part of your soul is craving right now, is to expand, explore, and experience. But the Seven of Autumn is saying, even though you're doing that, just remember to take the time to reground, reconnect. You're not leaving your element. You are just expanding how your element responds within you. So let's take and reshuffle here and peek over to our earth energies that are in relationships. And the earth elemental energy covers the signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if those are high in your charts, or if that's one of your signs, then you can pick this up. And from my experience, it doesn't really matter what tarot, zodiac, earth element, whatever it is you're listening to, you usually will find some form of information or tidbit of truth that applies specifically to you, no matter what your elemental energy is, or your zodiac sign, or any of the following, So not sure. Earth, you might only have a couple of cards for the couples. Let's try this one more time here. Nope, we got one more. Okay. I shuffle until the deck, like I said, stops. So we have, for the couples in Earth, the Queen of Summer, loving, comforting, emotional, and intuitive. Listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust. Taking care of others, perhaps too much. Just because you're in a relationship does not mean that you have to give up complete control of yourself to the other person. It does not mean that you give up taking care of yourself. The Queen of Summer is coming forward to say, be romantic, be with the person you love, but don't forget to take care of your needs. That doesn't mean that you have to give up on your hopes, goals, and dreams. It means now you have someone to work with on those same goals as you're helping them work on theirs. You also have the Sun, which is a major arcana. It's number 19 in this deck. Plans that work out perfectly, amazing new ideas that lead to rewards and accommodations, gratitude for the blessings of life. The Sun is coming forward to show you that even though you're working here, you're taking care of your spouse and you're taking care of yourself, you also are working on successful relationship building. They're also showing me that this is something is going right in your business/work department, and it's time to accept when people say good job. Show gratitude for that. Even if it's something that you're like, really, you're thanking me for that, show gratitude for it. It's that gratitude that's going to help build your energy up. And in a relationship form, gratitude between the partners is how a little bit one of the ways to deepen a relationship. Being grateful for the dinner that was prepared, being grateful for, even if it's something as simple as they put their laundry in the basket and not just threw it in the corner. Little things like that, and actually be honestly grateful. Don't be ironically grateful, like, good job, you got it in the laundry basket finally. That's not beneficial. But really express that gratitude in ways that your partner understands. And again, we have the Eight of Autumn come up for Earth, and it's doing research before proceeding, education in the form of seminars, going back to school or apprenticeships, excellent craftsmanship, and long-term projects. So again, you're working with this creative growth cycle, but it's saying you're giving a lot, but don't give up on yourself. And when you do succeed, you bring in the Sun, and you are grateful for it. And you're doing research because there's something that you've been wanting to build on. There's something that you've been wanting to work on. And the cards are saying at this time, you and your partner are in a position to build that together and work towards that more positive aspect of the relationship. But you're also building a future. They're saying that it's really about the growth, and the self-care is also setting you guys up for success in the overall long term. So something to think about there. And we'll get these cards reshuffled real quick and then cut them for air is our next elemental energy here. Doopy-doopy-doo. Okay. For those, and let's shuffle to find our chakra energy for air. And air covers the elemental energy or zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So all of my Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that are out there, my wonderful air energy, you have number 8, play. So before I even look in the book, my guides are telling me this is telling you to don't take life so seriously. Do something fun, be a little more exploring in that aspect. They're also saying that as you're exploring, being hyper logical and hyper analytical is not always a bad thing, but it's okay to set that aside and be whimsical and enjoy something that makes absolutely no sense. Go to a fantasy type movie, or do something that's outside of your normal, more structured focus. They're just saying really explore, kind of push your boundaries a little bit. The book says we're still working with the second chakra, the sacral chakra. It is planetarily, for this card, the play card, we are aligned with the planet Mercury, mythologically associated with the Roman god Mercury, the winged-footed messenger for the gods, and Buddha in Eastern traditions. Mercury has wisdom that transcends the boundaries of the mundane world and deftly juggles the extremes of world duality. Known for auspicious qualities, Mercury's symbolic nature is youthful, intelligent, analytical, progressive, inventive, risk-taking, quick-witted, and loves to communicate. Which anyone who's been around air signs knows that is very true. And if you have air pretty high in your chart, that's another thing that you will be fully aware of. So they're just saying enjoy life, be a little bit more exploring. They're also saying communicate fun stuff. It's not always about work and business. It's play as well. And being able to communicate when you need / want / just want to shake it up a little bit is a way to express that air quality. So let's look at air singles for the first. We have the 8 of Autumn. Apparently, 8 of Autumn is a big card this month. And it's talking about that research and finding your path. So finding ways that you can explore and grow with something fun and inventive. They're saying specifically for you, Air, that it's not about taking a class to learn education. It's taking a class to learn fun. So that could be something as simple as taking an art class, taking a painting class, taking something along those lines to expand your creative side. So the 8 of Autumn in this respect is really talking, at least this is what they're bringing forward, is being more creative. They're also saying that in that creative course, class, whatever it is you're going to be working on, there's the possibility of meeting somebody for a new friend group. They're not really saying it's a relationship at the moment. They're saying that it's a way to meet new people and reconnect, maybe with people that you haven't talked to in a while. But it's that having fun part is your class / coursework. You also have the High Priestess coming forward, so major arcana here. Trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. So the High Priestess is saying it is really good to get out there and explore and do something new and creative, especially focusing on fun. And it would be advisable to the analytical, more logical part to meditate and connect into the area of creation that it inspires you. They're showing me sparking a flame like striking a match. So meditate on something that brings that spark of fire forward for you as a single air energy. And that's going to help guide you to be more successful in that course of action. There, 6 of Autumn is saying the good news, the good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of finances, borrowing wisely or repaying in debt. So as you're going forward and you're exploring, you're having fun, and this ties into the High Priestess energy as well. You're doing so with a connection to source after doing research, after doing the meditation, finding the thing that sparks your inner fire, your inner passion, but that's not something that's going to break the bank or become so overly frivolous, can't speak, that it hurts you in other ways. So overall, you're, as a single air sign, you're working with taking something new, learning something new, specifically fun related, but you're meditating about it and you're connecting in so that as you're moving forward, it benefits you but doesn't break the bank, is what they're showing me. So hopefully that's helping you out a little bit there, air energy. Now we'll hop over here to our couples reading, and just checking back in, we're working with the sacral chakra, the second chakra on the pillar, and it is working with the elemental energy of playing, working with Mercury, so it's a little bit more fluid in its communication and connection. And let's see what else we have for the couples in air, if this deck would actually talk to me. There we go. So we have right off the bat the Seven of Autumn. Have patience, don't worry, take time to rest, plan your next steps, a prudent investment of time and or money. So for you in air couples, it's not a time to be too frivolous. Have fun, do something exciting, explore, however that appears for you. But they're also saying plan stuff out long term. It doesn't have to be in the now immediate moment. What is it that you can set up for, save for with you and your partner for something fun, like a long-term vacation? I don't know why they just showed me a trip to Italy, in Venice specifically, but something along those lines where it's just you're getting away and it's just the two of you. You're reconnecting into that chakra energy of the sacral, so it's a little bit more physical, a little bit more emotional, but you're working with something in the long term, planning it forward is the message that's coming through. You also have the Nine of Summer, wishes coming true, dreams fulfilled, the magical time of life. So what they're saying is this is something that you and your partner have been planning on, kind of thinking about, dreaming about, and the energy coming forward so far is saying now it's really time to start setting those goals, making them more concrete, not just, oh, one day it would be so fun to fill in the blank. These cards are saying, well, someday is coming, so when do you want someday to be? Start setting aside a couple of bucks extra a month, or start researching hotels, Airbnbs, whatever it is that you want, how you're traveling. It could be a camping trip to a cabin. Trust me, that is amazing. Total disconnection from electronics for a week. Heck yeah. Says the guy on YouTube and Odyssey. But it's that kind of energy is what we're working on. And helps if you have the face card towards you. Your last card for couples is the Two of Autumn, bringing fun into everything, juggling multiple priorities or jobs, an exceptional talent for multitasking. So you're planning this out. You've had these ideas running around in your head, these wishes, these hopes, these dreams, and you're right at the moment you're planning them out. You're setting dates, you're setting goals, you're setting aside where if we do this amount at this time, we can do this in 6 months. And the reason is you are amazing, Air, at multitasking. And in a relationship, you can juggle personal life, business life, couples. If you've got kids, toss them into the mix, and you can do this as like a rock star level, especially in a relationship is what they're showing me. So the Two of Autumn is saying, even though you're making these big plans down the road, you're making these wishes come true that you've been kind of focusing on, hoping towards for a while, you can handle it because you've got these abilities to multitask and look at things from multiple pathways and multiple streams. So let's call that one for the air couples energy, and we will shuffle and cut the deck and hop over to water. We'll get the deck. I need a bigger work surface one of these days. That's on my wish list as far as this wish list. Okie dokie, so the deck has been reshuffled. Let's shuffle our chakras for water elemental energy. Water covers the energy of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And that card literally fell out before I could finish shuffling. And we are in perspective. The information that's coming through at the moment is really saying changing your perspective, looking at things from a different way. The chakra alignment here is the Manipura chakra, the power chakra, your solar plexus chakra. It's the third one going up. Even though this card shows red, it's in Western culture especially, it's associated with yellow, so it's this vibrant energy. Before I read anything on the card, I'll show you this one. They're really saying that this is about stepping outside of your current situation, looking at things from the spectrum and the perspective of the ultimate observer, God, source, divine energy. So instead of looking at it here being like, my life stinks, stepping back and being like, oh, look at all the stuff going on around me I'm missing. I'm totally not paying attention because I'm looking at my own feet. And that's kind of the perspective that they're giving me right off the bat. The book says the card's deity, that doesn't have a planet with this one, it's a specific spirit, is Indra, leader of the gods, ruler of the sky, thunder, and rain. Indra is encircled in his luminous rainbow as a symbol for, there we go, where was that? Strength, courage, vision, and insight. He carries a magical weapon called a Vajra that can illuminate non-duality. Known as the courageous warrior, he leads people into battle and offers protection from battle. So this chakra energy for water is really saying when you step outside, you can kind of see what's been going on, but you're also being protected from a lot of things that you may not even be aware of right now. And the non-duality part is it's not so much, they're showing me that it's not an us versus them situation no matter what's going on in your life. We're all connected in a spiritual sense. We're all humans. We're all bound because we all carry starfire within us. We are all the breath of God. We're all the eternal flame. We all just have different perspectives of it. Like a perfectly faceted giant gemstone, which I don't have with me right now. Each face is a different aspect, a different perspective of the gemstone. We're all part of the same gemstone. We just have a different outlook at the moment. And that's what this card is really saying from the solar plexus energy. So this is your seat of power. And your power, water, is looking at things from different vantage points, different viewpoints, and different perspectives. So let's take a peek at our energy for the singles in the water elemental energy, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And we have, there we go. So our singles, first off, we have the Eight of Summer, the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move, choosing to make major life decisions. So singles, the energy is you have a new path ahead of you. Which direction are you going to go? And it doesn't mean moves as in like quit your job, sell your house, move across the country. I mean, that's possible, not probable, but you never know. But they're saying that there's something that you've been missing, something as a single water energy, that it's just time to make some changes. It might be going out more often. It could be like to, social events. They're showing me pottery wheels, like that ghost back in the day, the Whoopi Goldberg, and I totally just lost it. Other people in that movie. Anyway, but that type of thing where you're going out to classes, and like I said, they're showing me pottery for some reason. But it's really about changing it up, shaking up your life. If you get up every day at the same time, you go to the gym at the same time, you go to work at the same time, you come home at the same time, you have the same dinner when you get home, you say the same things to your spouse, to your friends, or your dog, whatever it is you have at home because you're single, same TV show, change it up is really the energy that's coming forward for single water. We have the Five of Spring, opposing goals arising from differing opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, overly ambitious plans. So it could be time to shake things up. You're opposing yourself in one aspect because it's, well, this is what I'm expected to do. So why are you doing what's expected? You're water. You go with the flow. You can change at the drop of a hat. In a moment's notice, you can shift direction. And you've got the 8 of Summer saying it's time for these changes. The 5 of Spring is saying, why are we in conflict here? It's time to shift things up a little bit. It could be that you've been so ambitious and you have your goals like up here that you haven't done steps 1, 2, and 3. And so it could be stepping it back for yourself and looking at step 1, step 2, step 3. And by slowing down, they're showing me that this is how you're going to maybe meet the person, meet a new person, meet a new friend or romantic relationship. But it's making these big changes and slowing down is the two energies that are coming forward right now. These two fell out together. We have the 10 of Winter, the resolution of difficulties, a weight lifted, and the end of an addiction or codependency. That's a good thing. And the 8 of Spring, stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, and sudden events or changes. So these two cards are emphasizing that you've got a lot going on. It's time to shake things up, and it could mean shaking it up to slow it down so that you can take a breath, that you can work within a new system and break away from the chaos that's been going on around you. But it's changing things in a way that's more beneficial and changing it so that your mind can be more at peace. As a single water, there's a lot that can go on and it can be overwhelming. But they're saying that this is a time to just take a break, rearrange things a little bit so that you can take that break and shift your schedule if it's feasible for you to do, and find something that you can add in that is more fun, that's a little bit more social and a little less structured. Yeah, so that's where we're at for our single water signs. And let's take a peek at the couples in water. And that is couples for Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This can be for you if you're watching, or it can be for your partner if they're water energy. But it's really about the water energy. And the water energy goes with the flow. That's the thing with water. It tends to be more emotional in its aspects and how it looks at life, which is good and bad, depending on how that goes. And water works with intuition like it's second nature. It's breathing for water. So when you're looking at things in the couple relationship, if they're doing stuff that doesn't make sense if you're not a water sign but your partner is, ask them if it's something, why they're doing it. Sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it because they're following that inner guidance so much that they aren't even aware that that's what's happening. Just a little side note there. So for the first card for the couples, it's the 3 of Autumn. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do, and being compensated for your creative ideas. So in a relationship, it's not 50-50. It's 100-100. Or it doesn't work so well. And that goes with work as well as at home. And what they're showing me is that if you're being a creative person, or at work, or at home, you're doing the lion's share of the home chores, this is where, are they being supportive of you in what you're doing? Or are you supporting them if you're the one going out and they're doing the kind of home chores? It's finding that balance and being, what they're showing me is being equal in the relationship, because there's give and take, and it's going to be ups and downs, but overall being compensated for the things that you do does not always mean financial. It could be energy. Like, you took care of the kids all day long. When your spouse comes home, let them do it. Go take a shower. Go take a breath, take a bath, whatever. But it's something along those lines where there's that give and take, and there's that balance that's maintained. If your spouse is out working all day, they come home and it's a stressful type job, and if they need a minute to, go play World of Warcraft or something for half an hour before dinner, let them have their moment. They'll be okay in the long run, but it's that being compensated, as long as they pay that back, so that when you need a minute, they'll hold down the fort while you have your minute. But it's that compensation for your time. The next card is the Magician. You can do anything, take charge of your life, manifesting what you need to be successful. You have the tools for the balance and the compensation and the relationship to really blossom and grow. The Magician's coming in as a life lesson card saying, you have the tools, use them. It's a reminder, as working with water, you have a lot more available to you than you realize. Water tends to downplay, not always, but tends to, the Scorpios are the exception to that, their gifts and abilities. But it's time to step up. It doesn't mean be bombastic about it, but definitely accept your gifts, talents, and skills and use them within the relationship, within your connections with other people. And that's that compensation part of it as well. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to. And again, we have the Eight of Autumn coming forward. Apparently, there's a lot of new things that are coming up as far as learning something new for all the elements this month. And it's expanding, exploring with your partner. They're really wanting to emphasize for water that this is not something for singles. This is something, find a couples retreat, find a couples event, finding things like that where you can be with your partner, grow with your partner, and expand that emotional connection that you already have to a much higher state. You're working in the seat of power, your solar plexus. So this, your strength, your power ties into the Magician. You have the skills, the talents, and the tools. Use them. Because when you are properly compensated, new things can come in, and that growth is amazing. So, that's the end of our little elemental check-in here. If this is something that you are interested in, want me to continue doing, like I said, I'll do this for this next quarter or so and see how this goes. Let me know in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, please, and share. If you have friends that you might think like this, go ahead and share it out. And yeah, just comment, like, subscribe, all those fun online things. With that, I will let you guys go. Have a great rest of your month, and I will see you in the next video.